Hey guys, so it's been a while since we've done one of these, but this is going to be an update video. So we're going to do a very small Q&A, and then we're going to go into the Excel spreadsheet that I've been building up, and then I can tell you about things like the Can't Build Any Unit series, the suggested challenges, all of that. So I'm just going to go straight into it. We'll start off with the Q&A. So like I said, only a few questions. So the first question was from Dirtminder. Congrats, binging my way through ZH this week. Will there be challenge runs of other CNC titles, RA2 or 3, Kane's Wrath, any of those? This is something I had already answered in the comments, but so I'll just read out my comment. So I said most likely yes, but not for a long time. Well, that was kind of a lie. I've been bringing out a couple of CNC3 videos. It's probably going to be Tiberium Wars 3 and Kane's Wrath next. There's a bunch of CNC games I've never played, so there's also potential for blind playthroughs as well. That is true. So yeah, the CNC3 and Kane's Wrath, I do want to actually do videos on those. Expectedly, they're not getting the same level of viewership as ZH, because, I mean, it's something different. The YouTube algorithm's not going to push it as hard, and the majority of my audience are more accustomed to ZH content. So it might be a slower output of CNC3 compared to ZH. It really it's me figuring it out as I go. But I want to try and do it in a way where, you know, it's consistent, but it's also not off-putting to the point where it pisses off the audience that actually watches the ZH content. So that's sort of that fine line that I'm trying to find right now. But yes, I do want to try and transition into those other CNC titles, but also we'll mix in some ZH as well, because that's what you guys really like. Alright, moving on. Gamer5096, any chance you playing a custom campaign mission or mod missions? Well, yeah, I mean, like, if you request custom campaign missions or mod missions, then we can look at those, definitely. I have already, like, dabbled a little bit with the mod missions. I mean, if you want to count Leggy's version of the demo general, I mean, that does sort of count as a mission. So we've dabbled in a little bit, but we could do more. But again, it's one of those things where you need to tell me what it is you want me to do in order for me to actually turn it into a video. Last one, ACV6086. Do you have any favorite generals mods? Not really. I mean, like, if you want to count, you know, Gen Tool and Gen Patcher, because they've had so many quality of life features that have made the game easier. So the custom HUD, I mean, that's very nice to look at, and I also made my own custom HUD with the ducks. I mean, that is, I'm sure you've seen me play with the ducks in the background. So yeah, probably Gen Tool, Gen Patcher. Nothing really like Shockwave or ProGen, because I'm just not familiar with those sorts of mods. So yeah, basically quality of life. Do you know how to make mods? I would say no. Unless you think that me adding ducks to the custom HUD counts as a mod, but I would say no. And would you make videos about mods? Well, I already have. One of the first videos on the channel was a guide video on how to install Dark Souls randomizers. So that's still on the channel, and is like one of my best performing videos still to this day. So yeah, I have made mod videos already. Any mod videos about CNC, again, just going back to Gamer's comment, you'd have to request something of me, and then if I agree to it, then I can turn that into a video. Alrighty, so those were all the questions. So we're going to move on to the Excel spreadsheet. So let me drag you over here. Alright, where to begin? So first things first, I have sort of turned my Excel spreadsheet into a dark mode. It's a lot easier on the eyes for me to look at. I mean, everyone loves dark mode, or except my dad. I mean, he actually prefers light mode over dark mode because it's easier for him to read stuff, but most people like dark mode. So going a little off topic. So going with the Can't Build Any Units series, we'll start off with that. Haven't really done too many changes to that. Now, the ones that are in black, those are the ones I haven't done. The ones that are in grey, those are the ones that I think are impossible to do in a Can't Build Any Units challenge, as well as a no offensive challenge. So me allowing dozers and resource gatherers, but everything else is still off limits. So I think both of those challenges are impossible with these grey matchups here, like the Lings and these Quais. So I will think of a different challenge instead. Unless I think of something else and I go back and somehow beat the challenge. Anything else to really talk about? So the ones that we haven't done, so we got one Tau, one Thrax, one Cassard, one Jaziz. The Jaziz one, that's going to be against Leggy Jaziz's demo general, so that's going to be a challenge. 5 Quai. The GLA Quai battles, they should be easy enough. It's just the Chinese Quais that are going to be difficult. 1 Fei, that is going to be doable. It's going to take a lot of work because Fei is relentless. And then General Ling. I still haven't done GLA versus General Ling, but I do know how to do it because in one of the suggested challenges, it was the Rag Dragon vanilla mod suggestion. I did beat Ling in a Can't Build Any Units challenge using GLA vanilla, so I know it's doable. And the other thing to point out is that if it's doable as GLA vanilla, then it should be doable as the other 3 GLA factions too. Just thought I'd point that out. But yeah, once again, China vs Ling, no go. I'll have to think of something else for those ones. Next section will be mostly my ideas. So this section is pretty much put on the back burner, just because, you know, since it's mostly my ideas, I have no problem putting that to the side. If it's someone else's ideas, then I feel a little bit bad for keeping people waiting, which I have kept a lot of people waiting for months on end for some of these challenges. But yeah, I've just gotten super busy with work. And because we're getting into Christmas time as well, I'm going to have even more work and less free time. Anyway, so for anyone that hasn't seen the update videos before, I'll just run through what each of these are real quick. So inspiration, so that's YouTube generated video ideas. And also just keep in mind things like Game of Luck and Round Robin. I've got these like in code, so then you don't know what the challenge actually is, because I don't want to spoil the idea just yet. And I think it's better that way, because if it's a terrible idea, then I can go, okay, yeah, we can get rid of that, and no one has to know what the idea really was. I mean, I did have one idea. I will tell you about this one. I did have one idea which was called Nursing Quai, and the idea was to try and beat General Quai with just medics, and didn't work. I pretty much built a line of laser turrets just outside Quai's base, and then a bajillion war factories just churning out medics, and then I tried to rush them all into Quai's base, but yeah, no go. Even with the Hellfire drones, it did not work out. So yeah, I did scrap that idea. So yeah, Game of Luck, Round Robin, those are code names. Deathless USA 3, so that's generals, not 0 hour. So this was my original Deathless idea for USA 3, was to do it without the aircraft, but I couldn't pull it off. But I do have a couple of ideas for going back into that one. Deathless Productionless China 7, Crycalo SKL. That one not really going, I mean, it sort of is on the back burner. I should actually add that into the viewer challenges, just so I don't put it off. So then I don't put it off as much. So yeah, that's a lot better. Because yeah, I've got a lot of different challenges here, and it's like just a matter of me picking one and then going with it. There's no real like order to it. I just go, okay, I feel like doing this challenge today, or I've only got a few hours to upload a video, so I need to pick the quickest challenge I can find, or like edit in the edit the shortest video that I've got on hand, because I ended up getting sick and I ended up doing a 5-minute battle against General Granger not that long ago. So there is that. So there's, like I said, no rhyme or reason, just however I feel on the day, I make a choice based on that. Let's see, IO1, that is code. Terry Bomb, that's pretty much just me doing campaign missions and generals challenges, but only building Terrys. Any of these yellow ones I won't talk about. Actually, I won't talk about these purple ones either. I am thinking about scrapping those, but yeah, I kind of want to keep those secret, because again, like before, if it turns out to be a terrible idea, then I can just scrap it and no one has to know. Okay, so that's all the mostly my ideas. We'll move on to the ZH Make It Harder and Deathless challenges. So, Make It Harder, I sort of started reviving that one. So, we got China 4, Make It Harder, which we did upload that recently. China 5, I've completed it, but I just got to edit in the commentary. GLA 5, I have not touched that one for a long time, but I know it's going to be difficult. And then ZH Deathless, we just got all the Mission 5s, and then China 4. So China 4 Deathless, I'm confident about that one, because in China 4 Make It Harder, I only lost 1 unit, so I think we can do China 4 Deathless. As for these 3 missions Deathless, I've got a couple of things I want to try with China 5. Again, GLA 5, that's going to be the hardest mission. USA 5, that's kind of a wild card, because when I did USA 5 Make It Harder, I did sort of an SPL speedrun strat where I would use the satellite and spy drone to reveal the map, then use rebel ambushes to quickly capture the 4 missiles required to complete the mission. So I didn't even have to destroy Dr. Thrax's base to clear the mission out. But I think I might make a rule where I don't use satellite scans, so then I don't cheese the mission. So I think I've sort of got a couple of rules in mind for USA 5 Deathless, but I haven't quite, figured it all out yet. With that done, what's the next section? I guess we look at the suggested challenges next. Let me just adjust the mic so that I can see everything. So, suggested challenges. Guide video, Microshader 9595. I am actually thinking, instead of doing guide videos, I might change that into like guide shorts. Because I have been meaning to work on my shorts game as well. But I think if I was to do something like similar to when I did the rapid fire nuke cannon short, that might be helpful, where I can do just little nuggets of information, but it's crammed together into like a 30-second or 1-minute clip, and it's going to be much more widely available to people, so it could also draw a new viewership as well. So I'm thinking I might change that into just a bunch of shorts where I can, do the exact same thing. Nuke or Tank General versus Ling, Helix Mix, Tank Hunter, Redguard. So that was in the very first update video I did, where I was saying you could just suggest a combination of units and then we'll beat Ling that way, and then we'll mark off these Ling battles for the Can't Build Any Unit series. And I called it like production or unit specific challenges, because that was the only other thing I could do, is just allow certain units or allow certain production buildings to churn out those units. So I could do an infantry only run, for example. Next up, Nuke vs. Ling with no super weapons by Stanley Wang. So that should be easy enough. Nuke vs. Ling, that's sort of going to be half guide video, half me doing the challenge, because they were having issues beating General Ling without super weapons. Not sure if they've done it yet or not, but we can look at that. No Vet 2 and 3 by Jara2611, and they also requested a no money map. So no money maps are maps that don't have resources on the map. It's just oil derricks, I think. But the idea is, if you get a unit that goes up to Vet 2 or Vet 3, then you cannot use that unit anymore. You'll have to either put it off to the side, or maybe use one of your other units to take out the Vet 2 or Vet 3 unit. Should be easy enough to do that. No scaffold abuse C3, so China 3 in 0 out. So I did do China 3 Deathless, but that was a cheese strat of beating China 3 Deathless. Now, I did notice that someone else has done a China 3 Deathless video. I haven't checked it out yet, so it would be interesting to see their strategy, and then maybe I can watch that and get inspired to do a China 3 Deathless video without me using scaffold abuse. Infantry or air units only by Andrea Leone. So I've done 5 out of 9 of those. I've got 3 on the channel already, so there is progress being made with that one. But that challenge is one of the very easy challenges, because a lot of it is just spam in air units, rush the enemy base, and off you go. 5 different skirmish challenges by Mystery 1726. Yeah, I should look at that one. I have been leaving him hanging for quite a while. I still have the comment tab, so then I can look at the 5 challenges. Let's see, where is the comment anyway? So yeah, like this one, Infantry versus Toxin and Air Force. So taking on 2 or more generals that have the perfect counter for you. And then the other ones, they've called it Ultimate Shield, Head Start Ultra, Deathless AI. So yeah, there's some challenges there. I just haven't looked at that one in quite a long time. Same goes for the Air Force and Demo No Rules GC movie length. So that was going to be like a 3 or 4 hour long video where we do an entire Generals Challenge campaign. I just haven't gotten back to that one. I've done 6 out of 9. The last 3 I need to do is like Ling, Cassard, and Towns, and that's as Air Force General. I haven't done any of the Demo General challenges yet. Vanilla Loader Mod by Rag Dragon. I've done USA Vanilla versus Nuke General, and I've done the whole GLA campaign. I just got to edit the GLA campaign. Haven't started the Chinese campaign yet, but with China, and also, by the way, this is a can't build any units challenge series, just so we're clear. So with China Vanilla, it's going to be the same thing. I won't be able to take on Ling or Kwai, so I'll have to resort to a production specific or unit specific only challenge. Nuke vs. Ling, Lotus, Scat Helix, Scat Overlord by Guy Franklin. Again, same thing, production unit specific, although that one's a little bit more, that one's going to be more difficult because we're only allowed 1 Gat Helix and 1 Gat Overlord plus a Ling, plus a Lotus. So yeah, that will be a challenge. Ooh, I hope you can't hear my stomach growling in the background. Hijacker vs. Kwai by Workers, CC Stash, Barracks, 5 Tunnels by Veloxis. So yeah, red ones, we've done it. I just haven't edited the footage yet, just so we're clear. So yeah, that's fine. Play live with random units. So that was by Eden Ramadanovic, or Eddie for short. So yeah, play live with units / buildings plus tell jokes. I don't know if you consider me a funny guy. If I did jokes, it'll probably turn out to be very cringe. But the point is to just do like a Wheel of Fortune type of thing where we randomize whichever units and buildings that are allowed, and then we do like one of the most difficult challenges, like difficult campaign missions or generals challenges available. 10k Parasite Challenge and 10k Poor Man's Challenge by Varifodum. So recently I've done these 10k only challenges against Granger and Tau. Those videos seem to be doing very, very well, and so much so that we've got people like Varifodum trying to increase the difficulty. So Parasite Challenge means that we can only have 10k, but that they're allowing forms of stealing your enemy's cash, but they're also restricting like offensive general powers as well. So that would be the Parasite Challenge. And then Poor Man's Challenge, I think that was just restricting offensive general powers as well, but no, cash stealing. I'll have to read the comment back, but yeah, basically extreme form of 10k only challenge. And also, last thing to mention about the 10k only challenge is that we've also got Brendan, who's been making 10k only challenges himself. So he's been taking, what he's seen from me and coming up with their own strategies, or they've learnt the strategies that I did in the video and they tried their best to replicate it. So they have been making a few videos on YouTube as well. So I'll leave a link in the description to their channel if you want to check out what they've done so far. There's only like 3 or 4 videos, but who knows, maybe they'll maybe they'll build up their own YouTube channel and do what I'm doing. We'll see. Alright, next up, Deathless Production List. We've talked about that, so let's move on to the other section. Laser No Rules, GC Movie or Series. So same thing as the Air Force and demo movie length videos. So that's going to be that for Laser General. But I have not touched it. 2v6 skirmish, but you got to protect your ally by 7th Sensei. As 7th Sense is a curse. I nearly did it again. First time I read out the name, I thought it said Sensei, not Sense. So yeah, 2v6 skirmish, protect your ally. That shouldn't be too bad. I mean, if we do like Laser General for us, and then we could like build a bunch of laser turrets inside their base, that would keep them well defended. So I think we could do that. Bonus round Deathless China 5, so China 5 in generals, not 0 hour, by Captain Zork. So first time I did China 5 Deathless in generals, I did that blind. So pretty much I had no idea where the stinger sites, the demo traps, or enemy units were. I was just winging it, and I took a long time to beat it whilst winging it. So the challenge is to beat China 5 Deathless, but do it faster. So I'm thinking if I can do it in like half the time, maybe something like that. I might have to adjust the rules to allow myself to build units, because that's what I did in the first one, is I restricted myself from building units, plus I did it Deathless. So yeah, maybe I'll have to allow units to be built in order to get a faster time. Dragon Napalm Helix versus Cassard by Veloxia, so we've done that one, just got to edit it. Ling, no super weapon, no bypassing or defenses at main island by Segvamir 18. That's going to be very similar to Nuke vs Ling, no super weapons by Stanley Wang. So I was thinking about tying those two challenges together. Maybe I could drop a save in like halfway, and then I could do like a version. So maybe like I could save at the bridge before Ling's base, and then I could do one version where we do it for Stanley, and then another version we can do it for Segvamir, where we're not bypassing any of the base defenses, something like that. Or we could just separate the two challenges, but they're very similar challenges. That's what I'm saying. United Factions or Sub ZH missions by Jaggers 23. haven't even looked at those. I know, I think it's Gramantio. I think that's the channel that does United Faction stuff. So I know of the channel and the mods. I just haven't really looked into it in great detail. Next up, beat General Ling, but can't destroy your super weapons or timers by human rights advocate. That's going to be an interesting one, because we're going to be taking a lot of nukes and scud storms to the face with that one. Could I do it? I think I could do it though. So yeah, definitely an interesting challenge. Minigunners only versus Demo General by Paradise 0001. They did leave a comment wondering what the goal was with that challenge. So yeah, just so we're clear, we have done the challenge. I just haven't edited in the footage yet. Edited in the commentary yet. So yeah, it'll definitely be happening at some point. Just when I got free time. Like I said, I'm very busy with work. Christmas is not helping the situation, and me getting sick isn't also helping the situation. You might be able to tell I've still got a little bit of a cold left. Okay, so ZH Continue by Shibs and also by Exterminsor. Hang on, I think that was Exterminstor 416. There we go. So ZH Continue is another mod, so like Shockwave, Progen, all of that. So we'll take a look at it. I'm probably do like 1 or 2 videos on that one and see how things play out. But we'll talk a little bit about that a bit later on, because I do have more important things to talk about towards the end of the video, just so we're clear. So stick around. GC Speedrun by Real Underachiever, so that is going to be tied together to Speedrun Dr. Thrax and Speedrun GLA by Gara, KDS9 and Aza AS. So they're all speedrun related challenges, so I'll just talk about all 3. So shouldn't be too bad. The main person that does 0-hour speedruns is Sketch TV, so for me, I would probably just be looking at their work and trying to memorize their moves and see if I can replicate it. So same thing that Brendan's doing to my videos, where he's replicating the strategies that I would do in the challenges. So that's probably what I would do for Sketch's videos. I would see that, like, I don't think I would be able to come up with a faster speedrun strat than Sketch, because he's been working on speedrunning the Generals challenges for, I would say, at least 5 years, and he's very good at what he does. So yeah, I think I'll probably just look at his work and see how close I can get my speedrun to his. Next up, Weaponry Type Challenge by SKL. So that's an interesting one. So the Weaponry Type Challenge is where they said for USA you're only allowed bullet-based weaponry. So Rangers, sentry drones with the upgrade, Humvees without the tow missile. So that's what he's saying, is like just using bullet-based weaponry for USA. I think it was rocket-based weaponry for GLA, and then I think it was flame-based weaponry for China. So Dragon Tanks, Napalm Bomb for Helixes, Inferno Cannon. So yeah, things like that. And there was also another one for Nuke General, so we could use nuclear weaponry only, which I do have a little bit of experience in. One of the first Command & Conquer vids I did was me doing General Alexander, but it was with Helixes, nuke cannons, yeah, basically just nuke units, nuclear units. 10k GC by Eddie. So I've kept this one, like, it has been done, what was it, 3 times, but I want to do more videos on that one, because one, I actually really enjoyed making those and doing those challenges, but 2, it seems that you guys are also really enjoying those challenges. Like, I can see that those videos are really popping off, so I think I'll do more of these 10k challenges. And to go a step further, if we just I got a list of the generals here. So I've done Tau twice. I am going to do General Tau as GLA. I'm going to go with Toxin General. So just that also reminds me. So Brendan did a 10k only challenge where he did Demo General versus Tau. So that should be the easiest of the 3 GLA generals. So I'm going to go the other way and go with the hardest GLA general, which I think would be Toxin General. Because if you play as Stealth General, you get Stealth Rebels, so you'll be able to destroy the buildings a lot more easily with Stealthy Rebels compared to Toxin Rebels, which can only really deal with garrisons and can't do a lot of damage to buildings. So yeah, just thought I'd include that little bit there. So yeah, we'll do Tau one more time. Disease, we'll take a look at Disease. But it will be the unedited version, not the leggy version, because that's insane. Thrax, I have beaten once, but I would like to try and think of better strategies, because I did Laser General versus Thrax in my free time, and it took, I think it was an hour and 15 minutes to beat him. So I think I'll go back to the drawing board and see if I can think of something a little bit more, a little bit more optimal. Granger, I did say that we could probably beat Granger as China and GLA with some, USA and GLA with some rush tactics, so I think that's definitely doable. I also think Towns with 10k only is doable if we take advantage of Townsy's particle cannons. Kwai, yes, we could do that as USA. I don't know about China and GLA, but USA, I think we could. With some rush tactics. Cassard, I don't think I could do it as GLA and China. I think it could be possible as USA with a Chinook rush strategy in the bottom base, and then I might be able to take out the Scud Storm or take out an arms dealer to decrease his attack waves. So it could be possible. Ling, absolutely not. Also Faye, absolutely not. Alexander, originally I thought absolutely not, but given it a little bit more thought, I have got a crazy plan as GLA, but not sure if it's going to work. So, excuse me. So I would say 99% absolutely not. 1% it could work. It's that crazy of a plan, so I have no idea. I haven't tried it. Next challenge is 1v7. I did leave a response to Zedge Tep. He said, like, are you in the mood for 1v7s? And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, if you got any rules in mind, let me know, pretty much. But they, haven't responded, so I just said 1v7 could be any rules. I do have an old 1v7 video stashed away, but it was a 1v7 as Air Force, and the other 7 were also Air Force generals. So it's a very old video from years ago, but we could do like a reaction type video to that, maybe. That way you would get some form of 1v7. And last up, we've talked about the speedruns. AOD by Defex Sieger. So here's the thing. AOD missions, I actually don't really like AOD missions. I've never been a fan of AOD type missions. So even me doing China 4, I was really putting off doing China 4 in 0 just because it was an AOD type mission. But it's just one of those things where it's like I don't like the waiting part of AODs. That's the main thing I don't like, is I can set up a whole bunch of stuff, right, and have time to spare, and then the rest of the time is just me sitting there waiting on the next wave to come. So that's my main gripe with AODs, is just me doing nothing and waiting. But yeah, if you got an AOD in mind that might convert me, then let me know. So last thing I do want to talk about is something a little bit more serious. It's a bit of a touchy subject, given that it's between content creator and you, the viewer. So the subject is going to be money. So I want to get the most important part out of the way. You do not have to contribute any amount of money to the channel. Okay, so you don't have to super chat, you don't have to sign up for memberships or buy merch or anything like that. Do not feel obligated to do so. You do not need to support me in that way. If you like, you can if you want to. So that's the other thing. If you want to, if you think that what I'm doing is worth that level of support, and you can afford to do so as well, then yes, I'll say thank you for making that sort of contribution, of course, because I haven't had anyone donate to the channel. Not that I'm asking you to do so, just so we're clear. Do it if you think that I'm worth it, and do it if you've got the money to do it as well. So I wanted to make that very clear. Now, I do want to talk about the super chats and the membership side of things as well. So the super chats has been available for quite a while now. I just haven't spoken about it. Same goes for the memberships. I did open it for a while, but then I closed it because I didn't really have much to offer. But I've gotten a new membership structure set up here. It's approved. I just haven't launched it yet. Now, here's the thing, right? When it comes to the viewer suggested challenges that we're doing on the channel, I'm becoming very overwhelmed. And I mean, if I just do a quick head count, here we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 different things marked on Excel, and some of those are going to be more than one video. So yeah, it's very overwhelming because it also means that some people are going to be left hanging for who knows how long. So I'm thinking I'm going to incorporate the suggestion side of things into the memberships. So yes, it is going to be paywalled a little bit. The people that are on this Excel spreadsheet already, you do not have to pay for membership in order for me to do the challenge that's on Excel. Just want to make that clear because I already agreed to it, and it'd be a little bit scummy if I said no to the challenge otherwise. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do going forward. And these new challenges, they're going to be called members suggestion challenges. And the member suggestion challenges, of course, I will give them higher priority over the viewer suggested ones because they are paying customers, of course. Now, with the member stuff, here's how I've got it structured out. So the level 1, I called it Cry Cadets, and so I've got Cry Cadets, Cry Captains, Cry Commanders, Cry Colonels. So I've gone for I'm Crycalo, so Cry, and then a military rank that starts with the letter C. So I thought I had a nice ring to it. Anyways, so the Cry Cadet level is at $3 my currency, or if we're going to talk about USD, because a lot of my audience is US, so that would equate to $1.93 US. So that's the cost for level 1, and then level 2 is $5.99, level 3 is $8.99, and then Cry Colonels is $13.49 AUD. So AUD, so convert AUD to USD or whatever your currency is to figure out the dollar values. I wanted to do something that's not highway robbery, but also not too cheap, because I want to try and stem the flow of the requests that I'm getting, so then I can actually catch up to some degree and do the challenges that are on the list already. So those are the reasons why we're doing it. And of course, I mean, one of the goals for the channel is to make some extra cash. I mean, that is definitely a reason. I don't let it be the driving force. I try and let the content, you know, guide my way, and you know, whatever content I enjoy making, I put that out there, and I just try and put the money out of my head. And last thing to talk about is the perks. So with the perks, Crycadets, you'll get the loyalty badges and emojis. So emojis, that's more for like live streams and YouTube premieres. So I could get back into premieres. I don't think I've got the capability for live streams. Loyalty badges and emojis though, I can make up some custom stuff, because it's just going to be the YouTube stock standard stuff. And you'll also get member shoutouts, which will be probably in the form of like a scroll effect on the end of a video. That way you get to see your name on screen. Or I can verbally shout you out. So it'll probably be one of those two things. But the main perk that you're going to get is member suggestions. So for level 1, I thought 1 member suggestion per month. Then level 2, it says +1 member suggestion per month. So in total you get 2. So you get the Cry Captain suggestion, then you get a Cry Cadet suggestion. And then Cry Commanders, same thing, but you'll get 3 suggestions total per month. And then Cry Colonels, I've bumped it up to 5 per month. And then you also get early access to the videos. I've made that one level 4 just for the, like, I made early access level 4 just for the simple fact that I'm very disorganized right now, and there's no way that I can really give you early access videos. So that's why I've put it behind the level 4 tier. So that was my reasoning. So like I said, it is approved, but it hasn't been launched yet. So if anyone's got any last minute viewer suggestions, do them now. But I am going to be launching this very, very soon, probably within the next 24 to 48 hours. If you want to leave a comment regarding the membership idea, like any feedback, you're free to do so. But yeah, main reason besides money is just so I can actually catch up and get through these suggestions and not leave people hanging. It's it's not a good feeling. So a few other things I forgot to mention when it comes to the memberships. You can suggest a series to me if you want to, but keep in mind it will take multiple months out of your suggestions for that month. So if you suggest a tank general's campaign, then that's 7 months. So 7 videos, 7 months. So you won't be able to make any new suggestions until after I've done that series, unless you wanted to change your mind and go, okay, I don't want you doing any more of this, can you do this video instead? So there's a little bit of negotiation that we can do. I will keep all the members in the Excel spreadsheet and just mark down what suggestions they've made. That way I can keep a very close eye out for you know, who's who and what's been done. Make sure there's no double dipping as well. So there is that. And just to be clear, it's just the suggestion that's going to be paywalled. So everyone will still be able to view the members' suggested content. It's just the suggestion itself, that's the paywall, where you have to sign up for a membership in order for your suggestion to get through to me, and then for me to turn that into a video, if that all makes sense. And that'll just about do it for this update video. Sorry if it got a little bit long. There was a lot to cover. It's been a while since we did our last update video, and I hope you guys are understanding of my choice to incorporate the memberships and the viewer suggestions into it, so then we can slow down the number of requests going through. So yeah, hopefully you guys are on board. Let me know, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.